Yeah. Hey. Hey. Well, yeah. Goonies never say die. You know what time it is. We got horror suspense. Listen, Kevin Trav digging in the bin. Dirty Dancing and Encino Man. You never know what you'll find in Uncle Doug's bin. What's in the bin? Yeah, Uncle Doug's bin. He's got all these flicks from way back when. Marty McFly in the DeLorean. Gotta love the cage and whatever he's in. Face off Snake Eyes, you know it's a win. What's in the bin? Yeah, Uncle Doug's bin. What's in the bin? Yeah, Uncle Doug's bin. What's in the bin? Yeah, Uncle Doug's bin. What's in the bin? Yeah, let's begin.
Welcome to Uncle Doug's DVD bin.
Oh, you know what about Uncle Doug? You know what I got to say about Uncle Doug? Fuck Uncle Doug. I hope he gets drunk and falls off the back of a pickup truck into the lake and he drowns while he's bass fishing.
Travis, dude, seriously, you gotta. I understand you're upset, okay?
I mean, yeah, of course. I'm glad you understand that I'm upset.
Okay, all right. First of all, not at me, okay? So settle down, all right? We're going to get... I wasn't going to talk about this on the show. I was going to try to work this out off the show, but that's fine. It's fine. It's come up now.
Hot.
Okay, it's okay. All right, can I just get through the intro, okay? And then we'll
see.
Okay.
We'll see if you can. We'll see if you can.
Okay, all right. I'm going to try, okay? If you just... Okay, all right, okay. Okay, I've only got so many cuckoos. All right, just give me a second, okay?
Hope he gets tetanus.
Okay, all right. Just
the lockjaw kind. Okay. I don't know if there's another kind, but I hope it's the worst tetanus.
No, I think they all give you lockjaw. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, look, where we take your favorite movies, give you the facts, tell you the plot, and there might even be a few jokes along the way. I'm your host, Kevin.
Yeah, well, I'm here too. I'm Travis, and I'm a little upset, Kevin.
Whew. Yeah, I know. Okay, look. Again, we weren't going to talk about this on the show. We're trying to work it out between ourselves. But what had happened was,
Sorry, my wife's texted me. She's asking if I'm leaving Uncle Doug another voicemail. Yes, I am.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
No, I will not quiet it down.
Oh, you don't have to quiet down. I just want to make sure that we bring the people that are listening up to speed on what's happening. Okay, you've got every right to be upset, but I just, if we're going to talk about it, let's try to take it from the beginning. So, a little while ago, Travis was over at Uncle Doug's, and Uncle Doug has a lady friend. Her name was Trish. Her name is Trish, and they were in the kitchen together, and Travis was trying to enjoy a delicious popsicle, and Trish...
Trying my best to enjoy a popsicle. The most innocent thing a grown man can do.
Right. It's a very innocent act between you and a popsicle. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And Trish came in and got a little close with Travis and tried to... I mean, there's no other nice way to say... Tried to seduce him. And,
I did nothing wrong.
And, being handsome. Being that handsome, maybe. I mean,
I was focused on the popsicle.
Okay, and so Uncle Doug came in and caught them and was...
caught her?
Both, but to his perception, caught both of you and was enraged, and he frankly threw both Travis and I out. I don't know why I got thrown out. I just heard screaming from the kitchen, and there was a big commotion and a lot of scariness. And so that was kind of where things were left, and something has occurred just recently since then. And Travis, I guess, just tell the folks what happened. Tell them why you're upset.
All right, let me collect myself so I can form a sentence.
Yeah.
I'm out of breath. I had to go to the doctor recently because my blood pressure is going through the roof over this.
Just maybe a few breaths, maybe a couple breaths.
I've been seeing spots while I drive.
Okay, that's not
not good.
Yeah,
it's not good. So, as everyone knows, most people who know me know, I got a little thing about the snakes. I don't like them. I don't like the snakes. I don't want to be friends with the snake. I don't want to hang out with snakes. I don't want to look at snakes. I don't like them. I don't want to be near them. But Uncle Doug, former Uncle Doug, decides to gather up some snakes somehow. It's January, by the way, so he's had them for a while, cooking.
Yeah, I think he probably always has a few around.
Well, he took a few that he had around and he released them into my game room. That's where a man lives. That's his solace. That's his fortress. It was infiltrated by a man I used to trust, and it was full of snakes.
Travis, I mean, none of them were venomous, right? So that's not so bad.
Sure, 2 of them were rubber, but the other 6 weren't.
Okay, well, hey, he didn't release them where your family was, right?
Sure, my family leaves me down there, never comes to check on me, way to rub it in. But yeah, sure, they didn't get to see the snakes, but I got to see the snakes. I'm the one afraid of snakes.
Okay.
They're not afraid of snakes.
I mean, I came over and helped you wrangle them. It was, you were so
Honestly,
mad.
you got all the snakes. You say help, you got all the snakes.
Well,
I didn't go near the snakes. I appreciate
you at the top of the stairs and did that heavy breathing thing you do. So like that, at least I knew where you were.
That's called sobbing.
Okay, yes. I understand why you were mad, and you just kept muttering to yourself, "They're where my video games are. They're where my video games are." And I felt bad for you. And I'm not on Uncle Doug's side here. It's just, I mean,
oh yeah, that would hopefully go without saying.
yeah, no, I'm on your side. It's just, Uncle Doug, he gets upset. Maybe just, I don't know, give him a pass this time.
I'll give him a pass for this. For this.
Okay.
They're so. Oh.
Okay, all right,
Now I can't. I've had nightmares.
I'm sorry.
I have tremors.
That's okay. Well, did you know? Let's just, you know what? Let's just let this go. I'm sure all of this is just going to work itself out very soon. It's okay. I'm sorry that happened.
I went down there and I thought I saw a little bit of a snake tail behind the TV, and I said, "What the hell is that? What the hell is that?"
Yeah, I know, and it was a snake tail because it was a snake. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
But at least no mice, huh? You won't have any mice in there. That's good.
I already had a cat.
Okay, that's true. Yeah. All right, fair enough. I'm sorry. Okay, we're gonna let
That's
this go.
another thing.
Huh?
The snakes could have got my cat. Kevin, we didn't even talk about this. My cat was in danger.
He didn't release anacondas in there. There was nothing big enough to eat a cat.
All snakes are anacondas in my head.
Okay, fair enough. All right, again, we're just gonna let it go. I'm sorry, Travis. We're gonna work this out off air. We'll talk to Doug. We'll figure out whatever we got to do. I know you are probably excited to sit down with Doug and talk about it. Okay, so it's fine.
You'll talk to Doug. I ain't talking to Doug.
Okay,
talk to Doug.
Okay, all right. But there's other things that have happened. Since our last episode. I cut my beard and grew a beard back. I did that. Huh?
It's like nothing happened.
Yeah.
Huh.
It
looks good though.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Looks
no,
good.
I actually.
Your beard always looks good. I can't stay mad at you long. You got that great beard.
Oh, thanks, man. And I don't know how this will make you feel about my beard, but I did a little pancakes for dinner. A little breakfast for dinner. Got some maple syrup in it. That's that shine.
It's kind of adorable.
Yeah, thanks. I knew that would cheer you up. I knew my man Travis likes a good pancake. That's what I could say.
That's how you earn Canadian citizenry.
We might be needing that pretty soon, man. I hear it's nice up there this time of year.
Yeah.
In January, probably.
You know what notably about Canada?
What's that?
Very few snakes.
Oh yeah, they do have those big breeding balls of garter snakes.
That's fine.
Okay, yeah, good. Well, anyway, hey man, we'll let the snakes go. I know you're still fuming about that. We're gonna let that go. Really excited to kick off season 4, man. Can you believe it? 4 whole seasons of the podcast.
Yeah, of Uncle Milton's, because I've switched uncles.
Okay, no, we can't.
I've switched favorite Uncle Milton's VHS. Uncle, he just has a shed, so it doesn't really roll off the tongue.
No, it's just a bump. We're not gonna. We don't need to change any names yet. Okay, just
I've already got a new logo.
Okay, I appreciate you working on that, but we're on season 4 of this podcast, whatever it shall be. So that's very, very exciting. We're covering, in my opinion, one of the best creature features of all time, Tremors. Travis, Tremors,
dude. I mean, I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but great movie.
Oh,
good movie.
Good one. Good movie, man. Hey, I don't know if I ever told you this. When I was a child, I was dumb.
Oh, no, I knew that.
That's it. That's all I had to. But there is more to it than that. So this movie came out in 1990, January 19th of 1990, to be very specific. And I was just a wee fella when I saw this movie, and they were talking about Tremors. Tremors. And I associated that with these giant worms that live underground and get you. Graboids. They'd grab.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Well, okay, we're gonna get there. But Then some time later, a couple of weeks later, I was walking through the living room and my mom was watching the news, and I very clearly remember they were talking about some earthquakes in Tokyo, and they were like, "Tremors have been found in Tokyo," and I was like, "Oh my God, no, they're real!"
But at least they're in Tokyo, pretty far away.
That's pretty far away.
Yeah.
I wasn't, but I didn't know where Tokyo was. I thought that was in North Carolina. So
Tokyo,
thought that
North Carolina.
Thought that was down near Winston-Salem.
Whew, that would have been rough.
That'd have been rough.
But... So you didn't go outside for weeks?
I played the version of the floor is lava everywhere I went. You know,
sure.
So
which is what this movie is. It's just adult floor is lava. Yeah.
Well, one of the writers, which by the way, the writers of this movie also wrote Short Circuit, in case you were interested. But the writer was out like hiking in the desert. I think it was the Mojave Desert. Probably, let's just say it is, and he was out hiking in it, and he was climbing up a boulder, and he thought, "Oh wow, wouldn't it be wild if there were like some monsters, under the ground, and I couldn't get off this boulder?" And that's kind of the inspiration for the whole movie. So he was also playing The Floor is Lava, or sand is anyway.
Yeah, that's neat.
So
neat trivia.
Pretty wild, right? Well, as I mentioned, Tremors was released on January 19th of 1990, directed by Ron Underwood, written by S.S. Wilson, Brent Maddock, and Ron Underwood, and starring, hey, you're going to know this guy, Kevin Bacon. How about that?
Yeah.
Fred Ward. You know him?
Love Fred Ward. R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. Finn Carter and Michael Gross, TV's
You left
dad.
out the most important.
Reba.
So he is TV's
Sorry.
dad, but you left out Reba. Oh my God.
I did leave out Reba I'm sorry. Reba McEntire's in this. You could tell this is like one of her early acting performances because she is doing something that's kind of like acting.
Doing her best. Doing her best, Kev. She's no Michael Gross. Who is?
Michael Gross.
Yeah. That is, well,
in fact, he's the guy that's been single-handedly holding this franchise together for the subsequent 30 years, which is pretty
You
great.
look up his IMDb, and it's just Tremors all the way down.
It's Family Matters and or not Family Ties and Tremors. So
yep,
which he's fantastic. He's fantastic. But
he's great.
I love this movie though. It is one of my favorite kind of like it's just on the cusp of being both 80s and 90s. That's what I love about it. Like in sensibility and tone and everything.
That is true. That is a good point.
Well, thank you.
Perfect crossover. Yeah.
I'm just coming in with good points all over the place.
You are. I had nothing to add. I just wanted to agree extra hard. Very good observation.
Very successful, my friend. Very successful. Hey, one of the things that I also think that you're successful at, even though I always criticize you for the way you do it, is the 6 degrees of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. In this case, it would actually be 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
It is, yeah. There's 6 degrees of but I tried not to use Kevin Bacon because one, I knew that comment was coming, and two, you have made me kind of self-conscious about this. So I've got 3 today, just in case you hated them.
You did 3 of them?
Yeah, I did 3.
Okay, what if I hate all 3?
You will, but I'm going to try my best anyway. So last movie that we watched was Point Break. Starring Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze, of course. So I found a direct link. There is one direct link. Well, there's probably multiple. I just tend to grab like the one that's most interesting. So I found Fred Ward and Keanu Reeves were in the same movie together called Prince of Pennsylvania. Happens to be a movie I've never heard of before.
God, I've never heard of that either.
Yeah, but it's got Fred Ward and Keanu Reeves. The only Prince of Pennsylvania I know would have to be Brian Saladay, our good pal.
Yeah, shout out. Wow, I just pulled up I'm not watching the trailer, but the movie poster for this, good Lord, it looks terrible. It looks, it does not look. Well, actually, I don't know. I kind of like this one where it looks like Keanu Reeves is in Duran Duran. Like that.
What hair does he have?
I don't know. Look,
it looks like it's eating his face.
Yeah, imagine a very young to describe for an audio format. Imagine a very young Keanu Reeves with like just sweepingly flowing Keanu Reeves long hair on one side, and then just sort of hacked, shaved 80s Duran Duran style hair on the other side. It's like duality of personality in Keanu Reeves' hair.
It sucks.
Okay, well,
yeah,
frankly,
1988 received limited release. Was also released on September 11, 1988. That should have been an omen. And it's got a 3.4 average rating out of 10. So that's bad. That's
Yeah,
a bad movie.
but that's not as bad as I expected based off the movie trailer.
Really?
Like, you say 3.4, I'm kind of like, well, maybe I do want to watch that. And maybe that's not so bad. All right, you know what? You went hardcore. Like, I didn't even know the movie, so that's pretty good. What else? You had 2 more of these things?
Yeah, so I wanted to pull Reba in.
Yeah, you did.
And fun fact, Reba and Patrick Swayze in a movie together, but it was to voice characters in Fox and the Hound 2.
Oh,
So that's fun fact. Reba and Swayze together. Yeah, that was the only time.
Okay.
But then I wanted to find another fun Reba connection. I sometimes like to see if I can connect them in fun ways. And so Reba McEntire, musician, obviously, also a musician from the previous film, bassist for Red Hot Chili Peppers, Flea. Have Reba and Flea been in a film together? No, but they are connected through Sam Elliott, because Reba and Sam Elliott were both in Buffalo Girls, and Sam Elliott and Flea were both in The Big Lebowski.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that was solid, okay? You went Reba to Sam Elliott, and you looped in one of my favorite screwball, I don't know if it's a screwball comedy, but comedies of all time, The Big Lebowski. Like, that's pretty... Yeah. You know what? Travis?
I'm proud of me, too.
I'm proud of you. You started this season off spectacularly. It's only going up from here. It's only going to get better, man.
Uncle Milton's VHS container.
Okay, I understand you're upset, but we're not changing the name of the podcast. All right, we just finally started getting some search engine hits on this. Okay, we've worked
already
for
told
5
Uncle
years
Milton
on this.
that it was going to happen.
Okay,
so
I don't like Uncle Milton. Okay, frankly, he's a little behind the times, and some of the stuff he says, I'm not okay with.
Listen,
Anyway, we'll talk about what we're going to do with the podcast later. Let's just keep going with the amazing film Tremors. It's a great movie. That should lift our spirits, no problem, okay? And I know what you did. You went out there, and you found us some of those preview reviews. You would love doing this. You'd love the preview reviews. To tell us, you go out there into the wilds of the internet and come back with just sheer gold of people's opinions about the film that we're talking about. And I'm sure you did it spectacularly this time as well, Travis.
Oh, of course I did. But do you want to? Because we usually go high to low. Do you have a preference? How do you want to start? Do you want to start with love or hate? How you want to do it?
Oh, let's start with love, man. It's always start with love.
Good, because last season also started with love and ended with hate. So we'll see how this turns out. People who love it. We got a 5 stars here from Slimy Swamp Ghost. Sounds like a guy you know. From May 15, 2022, says, perfect film, doesn't take a single misstep. Everything works exactly as it should. Timelessly realistic effects, characters you like and root for, very fun soundtrack. The ideal monster movie in every way. I miss creature features like this.
I mean, I gotta give it to Slimy. Like, that's that. I mean, I don't know that this is an absolutely perfect movie, as he says, but like, it is a great monster movie. And the majority of the effects are practical effects. They built tons of the behind the scenes on movies like this is always worth checking out. You can find it on YouTube, but it's like they've got these like graboid puppets and stuff. Oh, it's fantastic. Like the one when we'll get to it, when they bust into the rec room, like that was just a Muppet. That was a dude's hand up it.
Almost very obviously, but yeah, but it was still cool.
I love it.
Also,
man.
the soundtrack sucks ass. All right.
Well,
next
hold
up,
on
we got
now, Reba. I mean, you had some Tanya Tucker.
Oh, well, she had the close,
right.
but there was so much. There was a lot of like made for TV.
Oh yeah.
Country jingles intermixed, but yeah, there were some quality artists that were involved. Sure. Up next, we got Larry Sternshine.
Okay,
give it up for Larry Bear. Check him out on LinkedIn. This is from October of 2020. 5 stars here, just like the name of the town. This film is perfection.
Short, concise, to the money. I like it. All right. Yeah, I always wondered about the name of the town being perfection. Like for me, a town that was perfect, it'd have at least one more store. Like just one more, and maybe like a movie theater. Oh, an arcade.
Wendy's.
And Wendy's, yeah. I mean, they
gotta have a Wendy's.
How they even getting Frosties in perfection? It's a desert.
I know,
I'm really going to want a Frosty.
Exactly. Then up next here, our last of the Love It crew. This is Stephanie 240 from April 2024, 5 stars. If you like Brokeback Mountain and Dune, boy, is this the movie for you.
I wonder about that. I wonder about Val and Earl. Like, they are just a bonded pair. Like, one of them, I almost think, like, Earl has imprinted on Val.
Can't bros just wear tight pants and be buds? Why does it always why does it always insinuate romance? You and I hang out, we got tight pants.
Yeah, there's no...
We're buds.
There's no row.
We're cute.
Yeah, there's no row.
We kiss. There's nothing else to it.
No. Yeah, that's all I was going to say, too. I'm glad you beat me to it. But anyway, I like this movie, and I like Brokeback Dune as well. That's the mashup we need is Brokeback Dune. Like, man, they could be out, like, up in the mountain, just herding worms.
Yeah. It's like, hey, pal, you got a pretty big worm.
I think that's what they did. They were out. Okay, all right, really, Travis. Okay,
what?
They were out there. I can't remember what this. I mean, there was a reason that they were always camping out together. They were doing cowboy stuff. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Man, looking for spice. Up next, we got
Dune in Brokeback Mountain.
Oh, that's what I meant.
Oh, okay.
I've not seen Dune. Up next, we got people who were pretty meh on it.
Okay.
We got a 3 out of 5 here from Jamel Bowie. The Citizen Kane of redneck cinema.
All right.
Sounds more like an endorsement than anything, but it was fun.
If this is the Citizen Kane of redneck cinema, Travis, what is Rosebud in this movie?
It's got to be the what's the name of the big vehicle that pulled them out on the sled? The tractor thing?
Oh, the Caterpillar? It was a bulldozer?
Caterpillar!
Yeah. All right. Okay. I like it. I like where you went
All
there.
right. Now, Kev, I found your alter ego here on Letterboxd. I know you on there, you go by Zach.
Mm-hmm.
You must have watched this back in October of 2024.
That's my maiden name.
Surprised you gave it only 3 stars, but you did say, I can't believe I made it through the McIntyre movie.
That's a solid pun, and you know it.
Pretty good stuff. All right. Now we got all of the people who suck. People who are low on it. We got 1 star here from a one sugar baby. This is an old one. This says May of 1997. How long has Letterboxd been around?
What?
Is that right?
Holy
That's what it
moly.
says. You can see it here. I took a screenshot. He says,
We weren't even born then.
I know. I was. I watched this. I watched this when I was 7 and didn't walk on grass or sand for the next 3 years.
Wow. Okay. That's actually seems like a glowing recommendation for the movie.
Man, and they watched this just 7 years after it came out, or they reviewed it 1997. So long ago.
All right. Well, if it came out in 1990, they had to be 14 years old when they wrote that. That is a 14-year-old a review by a 14-year-old right there.
Ah, very
Says
good.
math.
That is math. Very good job, Ken. Up next, here we got 2 more left for those who are just wanting to get to the plot.
That is also math.
Very nice. We got Blazy Monster here, March 2024. Half star. It says, worms that size do not exist. Was looking for a documentary, didn't find it.
He is so disappointed. He thought he was tuning in for a BBC documentary.
Yeah. And I found his sister here. This is ADHD Dorer. March 2024.
Okay.
Same month.
Okay.
They watched it 4 days apart. A half star once again, and they say, the poster is nothing like the movie.
It's exactly what. There's a monster under the ground going after the stars of the movie. That's exactly what happens in the movie.
To be fair, though, it really doesn't look like the Tremors in the movie.
No, they intentionally made it not look like the Tremor because they wanted it to be a reveal, but they also wanted it to be clear that it's a movie monster. It's a stupid poster. It's not a good poster. I'll agree with that. But it does very accurately. I mean, you can judge a book by its cover in this case. Like, it does tell you what the movie's going to be about. Underground monsters trying to eat the people that are on the top of the ground.
Okay, sure. You win.
All right.
You've done better than ADHD.
Okay, I just want to say that's ADHD horror. Like, it's more clever spelled than it is said, by the way. It's a combination of ADHD and horror. Like, that's kind of clever.
Nah.
You're right. It's dumb. It's dumb. I shouldn't have. I immediately regretted defending it, but I was neck deep in it, and there was no way out. So I'm glad you gave me an out. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the plot of this movie. What do you think, man? It's been a little while since we've done this. I might be a little rusty, so just forgive me if I am. Okay.
Hang in there, bud. You got this.
All right. Well, now the movie's going to open up with a decent title card. We've been very critical of some title cards in the past, but this one's pretty good. But it opens up with Valentine McKee. All right, that's Val for short. That's what his friends call him. His mama called him Lil Val, and I don't know if that's true, but he's out on the edge of a cliff. He's taking a pee-pee. Like, this movie it wants you to know what kind of movie it is right off the rip, and he is taking a pee-pee off a cliff. By the way, that seems like an awesome way to take a pee-pee. I have never pee-peed off a cliff. It sounds amazing.
It would be cool. Like, I would hope it would be like, will I still have pee coming out when the first drop hits the ground below?
Whoa, I didn't even think about that,
Then I would be connected to the bottom.
Whoa. What is the tallest thing you've ever peed off of?
Oh, probably the high dive at my local church pool.
Dude.
What?
Dude, why?
Just so I could see if I could still be peeing when the first drop hit the water.
That's forgiven. That's totally forgiven. All right.
I mean, it wasn't my church.
Oh, it was somebody else's church? That's fine then. It was like that rival church across the way.
I didn't dive in after. I went back down the steps, climbed over the fence, and went back home.
I like that this was a trip. Like, you put effort into this. Like, you're like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to show them. Man,
just the way it works. If I'm walking by that specific church and I have to pee and they got their pool gate out, and I'm going to pee off the high dive. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay. All right, man. I got you. Well, back to the movie, pees off cliff. And then he goes and wakes up Earl Bassett, who is sleeping in the back of the truck. Presumably they camped out overnight. And I'm going to be honest, he's kind of a jerk because Earl don't want to wake up. Look, I don't like waking up in the morning. And then Kevin Bacon jumps up. I'm sorry. Earl is played by Fred Ward, and Val is played by Kevin Bacon. And Val jumps up on the side of the truck and just starts jumping up and down and shouting, "Stampede," okay? I don't like to be jostled awake in terror, Travis. I'm not on Kevin Bacon's side here.
Yeah, I don't like that either. I mean, what if it was a stampede?
Yeah. But
you're already in a truck. It's fine.
No, I feel like if it's a big enough stampede, like even a truck is not going to be enough protection.
It's better than not being in the truck.
I mean, that's true. Yeah, fair enough. I wasn't saying that like it was not as good. Okay, all right. Look, it's fine. So they start arguing a little. Oh, by the way, there's only like 2 cows that they're watching, by the way.
Yeah.
So
it's not enough for a stampede.
It is not. That is the joke of the just. But we kind of get a feel for their friendship here. They're kind of joking, doing a little bit of ball busting, some cigarette smoking, dude stuff. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
totally, man. They're finishing each other's sentences like any good couple. Just like any good couple.
Good couple would do's.
All right, we'll work on it. It's fine.
All right, sure.
But they also argue about who's going to cook breakfast, and this is the first time we see their way of resolving their particular disagreements, which is paper, rock, scissors.
It's a thing throughout, and boy, Kevin Bacon's character, Val, doesn't get it. He doesn't get. You need to change it up. Change it up.
He loses every time. The only time he wins, he ends up losing anyway. So, well, we kind of get to know them a little bit as characters. They're putting up some fencing, and we learn that they're not roustabouts. Like, they want to work. They're handymen. So they're men of many occupations. They do about. From what I can tell, they're the only laborers that live in perfection. Like, there's nobody else that does any work because they're
fencing, plumbing, sewage treatment, whatever
garbage
you want.
Guys,
dude.
They're the garbage guys.
Fix stuff.
So it is garbage day, as mentioning all the tasks that they do. So they're headed back to town to try to get the garbage. Although Val tries to get out of it and gets chastised by Earl for never planning ahead. There's just a great couple of quips that these guys get off, and I love one that Earl's like, "Listen, man, you're not thinking ahead. All right, it's Monday, and I'm already thinking about Wednesday." I just love that. Well, as they're driving back, Off in the desert, they see the grad student who is doing seismology or geology or something along those lines out in the desert. And they kind of see a little silhouette off in the distance. And then Val, he remembers that it's not the same student as it was from the previous semester. No, it's a new student, and she's a girl.
Yeah, and he's like, man, I hope she's... And he lists off a bunch of qualities that he would like in a broad. Okay.
He's
honestly,
like,
that pretty
they're
H2O.
crazy. Yeah, no, well, I mean, he likes what you like. Like, you can't be mad at him
sure.
for having a type. But
But
way
then
he says
he's
it is-
disappointed by her, and I'm like, she seems very attractive to me.
dude, she's desert cute. You know what I'm saying? Like, there
Right.
ain't a lot of. She is, by what I can tell, the only eligible woman in perfection. So she's got to, by default, be like a 10.
Right, and she's cognizant of sun damage on her face. She uses a lot of SPF right on the schnoz. That's a lady that takes good care of herself. I see that as an attractive trait.
I think so too, man. Well, so he decides he wants to see this lady for himself, so he is spelling off what he'd like her to look like, and then he sort of cuts across the desert, putting them both in terrible peril. He's driving entirely too fast. He slams on the brakes, the dust clears, and it's this sort of... I mean, I think she's cute, but not the type of woman that he was describing. And she's got just a huge white patch of zinc oxide or whatever on her nose. But
health conscious lady, you love to see it.
Regardless, they're very friendly with each other, and she says, man, you know, these machines, is anybody like doing any blasting or drilling or anything? I've been getting some weird readings. Why is it, Travis? You're a scientist. Okay,
Going to be some drilling later.
all right. Anyway, you're a scientist, a PhD, a learned man. When you're looking at all your fancy smancy equipment, does it ever give you weird readings? Because, like in movies, it's always doing weird readings.
No, you only get weird readings when there's monsters.
Okay, all right. Well, that's good to know.
That's science.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, if
anything's weird, you're not supposed to see weird. It's science. You're supposed to see very boring stuff.
Okay.
And if something's weird, you're like, call the police. It's called the science police.
I like it. Well, the new most eligible lady in all of perfection, her name is Rhonda LeBeck. All right, and she's going to be there for a little while. So they finish up their conversation and they head back to town. And Earl encourages Val, hey, look, man, maybe you ought to talk to this lady. And he's like, no, this is the kind of girl I like. And Val has pictures of some blonde, and Earl's like, man, that Tammy Lynn, whatever her name was, she was kind of creepy.
Yeah. Did they go into detail why? I don't remember.
I think he ostensibly like described her as like sort of vacant and weird. I don't know. There seems like there's more of a story there, and I wish I knew it, but
man, they should have put that in the prequel.
Yeah, well,
make a prequel with her. Yeah.
The prequel that they did for this was actually set in the Old West. if you're interested, I think that was like the third or fourth one or the other. But anyway, so they head back into Perfection, which is a population of 14. I don't think we...
Yeah, how you drumming up business with 14 people?
A store this size. So they go to the main general store. This place, I know it's the only one in town, so everybody's got to buy stuff there. But this thing is massive for the size town. And it's got all the, it's got neon signs. It's got a big old-timey cash register, coffee machine. It's got everything.
It's got 15 people in it. Somebody's lying.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you got somebody's Nana in town visiting or something. I don't know what it is, but anyway, so they do stop into the store and we meet some of the local townsfolk. We meet Melvin, who's like the teen punk. Man, I don't know if I'm getting older, but I just ain't got no tolerance for teen punks anymore.
Dude, all of the letterbox, I had to go through a ton to get to the ones I really liked, but there were a lot of them that were just hating Melvin.
He is awful. Like, he's always just pretending he's being attacked by the monster and just scaring everybody. And he's also just... he's got that laugh, that T-punk laugh, you know what I'm saying? We meet Bert and Heather Gummer. Now, that's TV's dad, whatever the heck show he was on, Family Ties or Family Matters, probably one or the other. And
Family Guy.
Family Guy, yeah. American Dad, I don't know, whatever show he was on. But anyway, Bert, I gotta say, is probably my favorite character in the movie. Like, he is
easily.
he's so libertarian.
Between him and Fred Ward's character, I really liked.
Yeah,
I liked Earl, but yeah, he's got the look of a guy who would just be a corrupt sheriff. You can look at him and know he's packing. There's a gun somewhere on his person. And he just got that look, just neck up.
Damn.
He's a good vibe. He's a perfect cast for this.
He is, man. Which they actually didn't think he was going to be very good because he was so known for playing this kind of wholesome dad character, and then they brought him in for this.
Man.
But
Breaking Bad.
exactly. And then Heather Gummer is played by Reba McEntire, and I dogged on her a little bit, her acting chops, but man, I could listen to her talk about guns all day. Like something about that accent, it just hits, dude.
It does. You're right, though. She does. She's a little bit stilted, and she, I don't know. I don't have enough acting acumen to really spell out why she is a bit imperfect in her performance, but she is charming. And God, like you said, that freaking accent, dude. And she knows a lot about guns, apparently. I'm like, does Reba know a lot about it? I would bet. I bet so.
Out of all of the judges on like talent TV shows, I would be willing to bet she's the one that knows the most about guns. That would be.
Oh yeah. Does she does a talent thing?
Yeah, I think it's like The Voice or
really.
Yeah, I don't know, one of those singing shows, one or the other. Maybe it's The Masked Singer. I don't know. It's one of those. Anyway, it doesn't really matter, and it's probably canceled by the time this ever comes out. But there's also Walter Chang. Who is the local shopkeeper?
No, I like that guy because he's always talking with like one eye like really affected. Like he kind of is like he's trying to do a Clint Eastwood impression for the entire film. It's great.
Yeah, Walter Chang, our local storekeeper, owner, whatever. He's also like he seems to be the most enterprising person in Perfection, but we'll get to that as well. So we cut away from the store back to the desert. There's weird ground moving kind of stuff going on. The seismograph is going a little crazy, and Rhonda, she almost gets grabbed up to grabbed her nation. Might have just had a stroke.
Grabbed?
Yeah, but like I was trying to, they call them graboids, so I was trying to conjugate that. Grabbernated.
Fondled.
Whoa, no, grabbernated.
No.
I like grabbernated.
Okay.
That's what we're gonna go with, because I like it. So, but she doesn't. It was that classic thing where she just gets in the vehicle in the nick of time and drives off, but she's unawares of the danger that she was in. So we cut to the dump, and Val and Earl are out there burying trash and drinking beer out of a turlet, just like you and me on a Tuesday afternoon.
Man, I miss the times we used to spend together with an uncle who shall not be named, Uncle Voldemort, and when we used to do that, and this brought back memories of such times.
We had some good times, man. You just got to think about the good times, They also, in addition to working in the town dump, they also pump septics. And, of course, dude, it's got to go wrong, and they get covered in poo. The septic blows up. But what's funny is they're like, it would take something to get us to leave this town, and that's when the poo just blows up on them.
That's when the poo strikes. And, of course, Melvin on the porch laughing hysterically at them. It's like, brother, your porch is going to smell like Duke for weeks.
You ain't
Joke's
never get that smell
you.
out. They got that, you remember that, like, fake green turf stuff that used to be on everything in the 80s? They got that
like
on
the
their
Brady's
porch.
Bunch yard.
Yeah, that stuff's never coming out. Smell ain't never coming out of that. But it was, in fact, the last straw. They decided they're going to do it, so we cut to their little camper trailer, and there's just some great quipping here. Like they're loading up the truck, and Earl's like, "Why are you bringing that vacuum?" He's like, "I don't know, man. I like this vacuum." He's like, "Well, you never use it." He's like, "I don't know. I'll use it for parts or something." And so so they're like, they're headed out of town, and Miss Sterngood, I can't remember what the character's name is. I bet it's in my notes. It is Nancy Sterngood.
She looks like a Nancy.
She does kind of look like a Nancy. That's my mama's name. So Nancy Sterngood stops them and says, "Hey, look, I need some work done. It's at least a month's worth of work. I'll throw in lunch and free beer."
Ooh, got him.
That's what you think. Mindy, by the way, her daughter, goes hopping by on her pogo stick, played by Ariana Richards, who also shows up in Jurassic Park.
That's right.
It might be interesting for the rest of the
First
season.
thing that my wife and I said was like, "Hey, that girl was in Jurassic Park."
She is, man. But you know what? Even the temptation of free beer and Jurassic Park was not enough to keep them in this town. They said, no, this is it. So they head on out of town, man. They're excited. They feel like they've broken the hold that this town's had on them, and they're going to the big city of Bixby. All right, they're going somewhere nice.
Got to head toward imperfection, I suppose.
Yeah, well, nobody's got it all. And so they're heading out of town, and they spot this guy sitting on a telephone pole, like a phone, one of the big tower things.
Yeah,
and they're like, that looks like Edgar. Oh man, he's done got drunk and climbed that tower again. We're gonna have to get him down.
Remember when Uncle Voldemort did that one time, and we had to go get the town maintenance crew to come bring the bucket truck by to get him down?
Yeah. Then when they got there, he was standing on top of the thing. He said, "I'm a shooting star, and I'm where you are." And he jumped, and fortunately there was that children's little swimming pool nearby, and we kind of pushed it over under him. We almost lost him that day.
You say fortunately, but.
Okay, well, that's very harsh, Travis. I think you might want to think about what you're saying, but we'll get. It's fine. It's fine. We're going to let that go for now. But anyway, they paper, rock, scissors to see who's going to climb up and check on Edgar, because they're nice fellas. They can't leave their buddy up there, drunk as a skunk and in peril of death. And so when they climb up there, what they discover, though, is Edgar is already dead.
He's so dead. He's stiff on that thing like a possum clung to something
that would
metal
make it
and dead
stiff
already.
And dead.
Yeah,
yes, that's exactly right. God, what a good analogy.
I didn't cook it up enough, but you guys got me. It's just a stiff possum of a man.
That's I want that on my tombstone, frankly.
He was a stiff possum of a man.
So they pull down. I don't know. They cut away, so you don't know how they managed to get his corpse down. I imagine they just pushed it off.
I was wondering the whole time. It bugged. I probably missed the next 10 minutes of dialogue because I was like, so how would they get him down? Like trampoline and then just push him out?
Well, fortunately, there was a children's pool nearby, and so they could just push that up. But, so cut to the next scene, and they've taken him to the doctor's house, and the doctor, who's building a house, rather, he's living in a camper and building his little dream place out there in the desert underneath the beautiful stars with his wife. Drives him out. They drive the corpse out there, and it turns out he died of dehydration. He just sat up there until he dehydrated and died, which is wild. So I guess they presumably just leave the corpse with the doctor because they decide to just continue on out of town. Look, they're not being stopped for free beer nor dead people, all right? You ain't stopping this train once it gets started. Toot, toot.
I don't think there's a lot of paperwork for just finding a guy dead. I think you can just go ahead and leave.
So I don't know what happened to Edgar's corpse, but something anyway. Well, so they head by old Fred's place, which is kind of a dirt farm. I'm sorry, let me back that up. They're not by old Fred's yet. We cut to old Fred's place, which is kind of a dirt farm. He's got some sheep, and they're like freaking out. And then there's no other way to say it. Old Fred doesn't realize what's going on. He's like, what's wrong with my sheep? And he's out there kind of hoeing his lettuce or whatever he's doing. And then he gets grabberated.
Yeah. Boy, he does. He gets sucked right down into the earth.
God, and we're like, man, that's wild. So they're heading out of town, and we've kind of seen this cutaway to old Fred's place, and we cut back to Ron in the desert, and there's some weird readings or whatever, and then they're heading by some road work. We cut back to the boys, the fellas, and they're heading by some road work, and they head past that, and we find at old Fred's place all of the sheep are dead. Very mysterious. They're just puddles of goo and wool everywhere. So they're looking
Looks
around.
like they all died as virgins, too, which was wild because we knew Fred and how he was.
I mean, he did breed his sheep so he could keep his stock and supply and sheep. That's obviously what a farmer does. But moving forward, puddles of goo and wool everywhere. And then they're like, well, where's old Fred? And so they go over to the field, and they see this hat sat in the middle of the sand. Mysteriously. They're like, well, that's old Fred's hat. What's it doing right there? And then
must have blown off his head all delicate-like and landed there just upon the dirt.
That's right. And so Val picks it up, and there's Fred's head dead.
Oh, it's Fred's head. That's not where you expected Fred's head to be.
And there's some stuff that Kevin Bacon does in this movie that I just love. And he's like, when they discover the head, he's still holding Fred's hat, and he realizes he's still holding Fred's hat, and he's like grossed out and angry at himself. He's like, ugh! And he throws it down.
Yeah, is that the one where he's like, what the hell is that? What the hell is that?
Just him realizing that he's holding the hat that was on a decapitated head. Hilarious. I don't know why that bit got me so much. I had to watch it 6-7 times.
It's great. What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? That's what I said when I saw the snake.
Yeah, I know. That's you were muttering it when I got there. I mean, I literally live an hour and a half away, and by the time I got there, you were still just muttering it and shake. I'm sorry he upset you so, but it's look. We got you a stiff.
I can't
drink,
let it go.
And I got you that new Mario game you've been wanting. You know, the Mario Brothers 3. You didn't have that one in your collection, did you?
Somehow, yeah. I don't know. Should have been the first one, but no, it was the 685th.
Well. Regardless, Travis, they're driving back by after they're fleeing old Fred's in terror.
I would too.
I found it. I would. What do you do? This is the second one in one day. What are the odds? And so they're driving back by the roadwork, and they shout to him, go hide, get out of here. There's some kind of crazy murderer chopping people's heads off. And the road guys are like, psh, they goofing.
He's just yanking your chain.
He's just yanking your chain. Well, meanwhile, one of the guys is using a jackhammer, and something underneath the ground gets stabbed by the jackhammer. The jackhammer is just running off down the road, which is hilarious.
Pretty cool.
And it does that thing that always happens in monster movies where his foot gets wrapped up in the cord. In this case, I suppose the pneumatic tube for the jackhammer. And he just gets pulled up over the side of a hill and gone. And then boulders come tumbling down in a crazy array all over the road, blocking the only road out of town, Travis.
Man. And... It makes you wonder. You named the town Perfection, but there's only one road in and out of it.
That doesn't sound perfect to me.
You'd think you'd want more roads into a place that was perfect.
Well, maybe your idea of perfection is different than those people.
If I was going to name it Perfection, I would have more ways to get to it.
That does seem odd. Well, they keep naming other ways, though. They're like, well, there's the mountain pass and the Jeep Trail and that.
The Jeep Trail is a mystical place.
It really is. That's why I feel like a lot of the young ladies and young fellas of Perfection go necking.
That's where I would go necking. I love a good Jeep Trail.
Yeah, man. You got a Jeep. Of course you like a good Jeep Trail. In fact, that's what they drive. I love this truck, too. It's a Jeep... I don't know. I got it in my notes somewhere, but I wanted to say it was a Jeep Scrambler, but it's too big for that. But anyway, a great truck, which two rootin' tootin' hard-working handyman cowboys need. But anyway, they drive back into town and kind of try to use the phone to call for help. The phone doesn't work. Miguel and Nestor are like, oh my God, all these people are dead. You got to go get us help in Bixby. So they head back out on the road to Bixby, but that's when they discover that the road is blocked by that accidental, grab-a-rating that occurred. I guess it wasn't accidental on part of the graboids, but, the people. So they're trying to flee from the area with the road blockage because they just discovered more human goo. Like, it's just brains and a hard hat. They're like, dude, this is bad. This is a bad deal. So he backs the truck up, and it gets stuck on, the side of a little hill, and he's trying to get it to, go forward, and Fred Ward's character, Earl, says, hey, you're going to pop an axle. And he says, no, I'm not. I'm not hung up on anything. And finally the truck breaks free. Well, they head back to town, and everybody's hanging out at the local store. You got Bert, you got Reba, you got that one lady, Sterngood, and you got Miguel. And
all 14.
All 14.
All accounted for.
You got a good population. You got Melvin there. And they come out to look at the truck, and they see on the back of it there's this long snake-like creature attached to a shock or up by the springs, And so Bert kind of pries this thing off of the truck, and they get a good look at it for the first time.
Yeah, and it looks to me to be a mangled Jim Henson hand puppet, but I can't be sure. I'm no doctor.
That's right. In fact, the only doctor in town is, out living in a camper. And so they kind of examine it, and they're debating what it is, and they're like, well, do you think this was the stuff that killed those folks? Well, I don't know. And my favorite bit here is Walter, the store owner, asks them, he's like, I'll give you $5 for it. And they're like, no, you got to give us $20 for it. And I think they finally land on 15. So Walter, the store owner, enterprising gentleman that he is, buys this weird, stinky, snake-looking tentacle thing.
Yeah, dude. I love a restaurant that's got a lot of weird memorabilia on the wall is always a bit of a lure for me. I mean, you put a weird half of a Tremor up on the wall, I might eat there more than once.
Oh, and I also have to point out that it was a Jeep J20 thrift side. Okay.
Thank God, because people were caring.
They should care. It's a sweet truck, man.
Oh yeah, I agree.
And so later that evening, also they're trying to figure out a way to get out of town since the road's blocked. But we cut away that night at the Doc's place with his wife, and man, this is probably, I mean, this has got to be the best written kill scene in the movie, I think, because like
so fun, dude.
It's so fun. They build up like you got the retiree couple, the retiring doctor, and they're talking about how great it's going to be when the house is built. And they're sitting there on the back of their station wagon, just in love still after all these years. She's still the one, like Shania Twain said, And all of a sudden, it gets dark. Their generator disappears underground, and Doc's like, well, what the heck is that? And so he goes over there, and immediately he starts pulling on the cord that's gone down in the ground. And his wife knows, like, hey, man, something ain't cool. This isn't the way it's supposed to be. And she's like, keeps trying to get him to leave, and he's like, no, it might be an underground mine. I think that's why it smells like sulfur right now. And back in the old days here. And she's like, and he's just like elbow tugging her like away, like he doesn't want to leave for some reason. She's like, no, I've got a premonition that a murdering's about to happen. And it just refuses to go. He starts talking about their vacation and all kinds of weird crap. And then, woof, he gets pulled down into the ground, right? And she's trying to save him, and he's all the way under there, and she's smart too. Like
she goes and gets a board. Yeah,
they've got like
I thought
some
that was a good
2x4
move.
studs nearby, and so
it wasn't enough. Unfortunately,
it wasn't. No, it just snapped in half. They must have got that Lowe's pine lumber is what it was. Really, it did him a favor. Like, that house would have collapsed on him if it was built with that lumber. You know what I mean?
Did him a favor. You're right. Yeah.
So he gets pulled under, and she's, like, digging at the soil trying to get him out. And then this very gooey snake tentacle thing just pops out. Now, Travis, I don't want to talk about snakes, okay? I just want to say, like, did this cheese you out a little bit?
I mean, you can tell it's a hand puppet. It doesn't.
It's like a hand puppet covered in Vaseline is what it's coming out as. But
I mean, it is a pretty cool effect. It's a pretty cool effect, especially when she's inside the car and they're like clinging to the glass and there's a whole bunch of them. Like, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, my note here says Doc is dumb. Which
he's not smart.
Well, his wife is at least smart enough to flee and get into the station wagon, but there's no keys in it. Yeah. And which is weird. There's no keys in it. Oh, okay. They had a little portable radio. That's what it is. But somehow, hold on. Okay. There's no keys in it. Okay. I'm trying to puzzle this out. Okay. Because what happens is Tanya Tucker's playing, first of all. A fantastic Tanya Tucker song.
Maybe without the key, maybe you can still activate the battery. Just can't turn the engine over.
Yeah, I guess because the lights get turned on maybe and the radio's playing. But those sounds are what pull in the graboids, right? And so they somehow pull this entire vehicle underground. So presumably, unless the vehicle's like crushed and they pull her out somehow, maybe she's still alive in there. I don't know. Well, we don't know. We don't know if she ever gets eaten because we never see her again. But we jump back, Travis, back to this. Did you have anything to say about that scene? I was really on one because I like that scene.
It was just fun. I just loved it. I liked the way the car went down, and I just liked everything about it. I thought it was a good scene.
Wow, you like it?
Is that all you wanted from me?
Nah, so much.
I liked
it.
More. I liked it.
Okay,
I liked it.
That's good. I'm glad you did. That's good.
I had a lot of fun.
Well, cut back to the store where Walter is charging for pics with the snake, and people are paying it. They've already seen it. Like, there's 14 people in this town. He's charging, I think, $5 each. I mean, what's the upshot of that? Yeah, I mean, it's not bad.
Yeah, 3 pictures, you break even. I mean, he's doing a great job.
Yeah, that was pretty smart of him. Very enterprising. And, of course, the boys comment on that. They're like, man, we should be more enterprising like old Walter. Well, they debate what to do because they're basically isolated. The canyon kind of keeps CB radios from working, that sort of thing. And, frankly, Bert and Heather are having a great time. This is what they signed up for.
Yeah, old Reba and Mike. That's what I call them. I don't like to call them by their Christian given Rob Underwood names. Ron Underwood. Yeah, these people, I mean, I don't know if we know yet how armed to the teeth they are, but you know why they're so confident. It's because they know back home they'll be all right.
That'd be all right. Well,
be all right.
Everybody kind of, debates what these creatures are, where they came from a little bit, but then they decide, well, we need to get to Bixby. What if we send Val and Earl riding out on horses? Because they're the ones that know how to ride horses the best. And it's like, well, that seems like a pretty good idea. And Val and Earl are like, I guess. I mean, we just want to drink this beer and have a good time, but you know what? When duty calls, right, man?
I guess so. I mean, horses, why wouldn't the grabbers already have eaten all of the animals that are trotting around making noise? Why wouldn't they just eat them?
Well, for some reason, these creatures don't come to where the most noise is. They only go to where a moderate amount of noise is, and they kind of like stay on the periphery of the town for a little while. I think it's part of their MO, They kind of like...
True. Because later in the movie, when I don't want to give too much away, but when we start making loud noises, that apparently scares them. And they like, I guess you're right. I guess they like a nice, just good amount of noise.
Yeah, they like a moderate, tasty amount of noise. Like, it's like, if somebody was screaming loud at you, like, dinner's ready, you'd be like, whoa, 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 ease up. But if they're like, hey, man, how'd you feel about some meatloaf? Like, all right, that sounds pretty good.
You got meatloaf?
Yeah, I got that meatloaf.
You do?
Dog. Yeah, come on over.
Okay.
So next morning, it's time to go, and the fellas, they only have the one rifle that was Edgar's. They found him with a rifle, and so they paper rock scissors for the rifle. Val wins, but it's kind of an old crappy rifle. Reba then shows up and gives like Earl a bazooka or something.
Yeah, yeah, and of course she knows I don't know anything about guns, so whatever she said was very impressive to me.
I just heard her say, "Hey, you don't want that 30-30," something like that. It was great.
Yeah.
And of course, Melvin got a Melvin, so he comes running out with the dead snake thing around his neck and nearly gets shot. Because Melvin,
I wish they
got
had
Melvin.
Wouldn't that have been great if Mike Gross had shot Melvin right in the fucking forehead?
And like the next 20 minutes, no, I was thinking in the stomach, and the next 20 minutes was just him dying slowly.
That would have been great. Yeah, kill a boy.
Yeah, well, he's a teenager. It's different. So they sort of joke about the creatures flying. They're like, they're not going to be able to catch us. These horses are fast. And he's like, you don't know how fast they are. They could fly for all you know, which I love because in the sequel, they actually do fly. There's like flying versions of graboids, which is fantastic. And it's also a little foreshadowing to the end of the film as well. So they head on out, and they end up going by the Doc's place, trying to warn him. But when they get there, they don't see anybody. Now we know
where's
what's
the
happened.
Doc?
Yeah, but
I guess he must have left. The car's gone.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's weird he left most of his stuff, but Doc going to Doc, you know how he is.
Yeah, it seems weird that the ground is completely disturbed here where it wasn't yesterday, but it's probably not a problem. Wait a minute.
And
Where's
I hear
that
music
sound
coming from it.
Yeah, it's weird. Let's dig this up. So they dig it up, and they just see the grill of a Ford and the headlights on, and they're like, uh-oh. That's bad. They don't even take time to like check and see if she's in there. Like they get on the horses and they book it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I would do in that situation.
What would you keep digging?
Would you dig them out? Would you dig them out? I mean, because you'd think, well, the car is on. Maybe someone's inside of it. Or do you flee? I'd probably try to dig and see if I could see someone. Because, I mean, otherwise they're dead. And there's no reason to hurry.
Yeah, I don't know what I would do. I would be so confused. I'd be like, man, somebody lost the grill of their car out here. That's weird. Well,
if the headlight wasn't on, you'd think that. But I think the headlight being on was a good amount of information.
I think I'd probably try to dig it up. Yeah.
Got to dig it up a little bit.
I think I would. But they also got to remember all the other lives in town are counting on them. So
I mean, also, you probably dig it up, you probably die.
Oh, yeah.
You probably get eaten. So it's a good thing they didn't. But
I was thinking you get dehydrated because it's hot out in the desert.
You would have, yep.
Yeah.
Could have also happened, yeah.
Well, that'd be bad. They didn't even have about one bottle of water on them anyway.
No.
So anyway, they decide to flee, and they're riding the horses as fast as they can. They say, "We're not slowing down for nothing." Then the horses start getting freaked out. Right, the horses are scared, and that's because the graboids are grabberating the horses. Bam, boom, boom. Both of them get flung off, and the graboids are pulling the horses down. Right. And
Grabberate gonna grabberate.
Grabberate gonna grabberate. And so that's when Kevin Bacon uses that rifle, or Val, bang, shoots one of those tentacle things. He's like, I got it. And then all of a sudden, one giant one, the actual real Tremor, the graboid, pops out of the ground in all its majestic glory.
Like a frickin' just unruly morning wood, just pop right up out of the dirt, dude. I'd have been hightailing it through the desert at that point, and of course they did.
That's exactly, yeah. They run as fast as they can. The graboid back in the ground and starts chasing them, and they reach a concreted-in drainage culvert, and they decide to try to leap it. Oh, by the way, as the graboid's chasing them, it's tearing up the fence they put in earlier, which is hilarious.
Very cool. I like that. Yeah, that's a cool effect. There's a lot of like cool little effects here that just aren't, gory necessarily, but just neat. Yeah.
Yeah, they thought it out, man. It's like
this and like the jackhammer. Also very fun.
Did you see there was a movie called Harvey about this I think it was called a puka is what they call it in the movie, but it's like this spiritual rabbit that follows around Jimmy Stewart.
Nope. Are you talking about Donnie Darko?
No. That's Jake Gyllenhaal. No, this is Jimmy Stewart. This is back in the day. It was a kind of a feel-good movie, but they do a lot of like there's this invisible rabbit that's following him around, and like they like open doors and all sorts of stuff, and it's a lot of those same kind of effects in this. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. So thanks. Yeah, you're welcome. Watch the movie though; it'll make you feel good. So they run at Tremors and Harvey, and so they leap across this drainage culvert. They barely grab the other side, but they slide down. So like, well, we're done for. But the graboid, boom, right into the side of this concrete thing and kills itself straight up, just boom, right in the wall and knocks itself dead.
We needed that. I needed to know that these things weren't invincible, as they are in a lot of creature feature movies. They always find a way to either come back to life or something. It was kind of refreshing to be like, oh, okay.
Oh, we
can kill these things. There's some hope.
Yeah, I liked it. And, of course, Rhonda picks that time to show up and ask them if they've seen anything weird.
And somehow she does not see the big dangling wang of a dead Tremor or whatever, a graborator, hanging bloodily through a concrete wall right behind them. She talks to them for like a full 30 seconds before she's like, oh, my God, what's that?
Maybe she's like, you get a little like, blinded by bright light. Maybe she's just, been out in the desert a little bit and her vision.
She had to smell it too.
That's all true.
One of the best things about this movie is how everyone consistently reacts to smell, that it made me, at watching it, feel like I could smell it too.
Dude, it looks smelly.
Which could have been my cat's breath. I do watch a lot of movies with Ralph and he's dying from the inside out. But either way, I could smell it,
Oh, dear sweet Ralph. Well, they kind of dig it up to get a good look at it, and then Val and Earl have figured out, like, and Rhonda's going all science brain on it, and they're like, hey, we could make some money on this. And then she starts thinking about the readings that she's seen and realizes there have to be at least 3 more of these things.
Yeah.
Because of readings.
Because of the science. Science told her that, which is good. We needed to know how many there are.
Follow the science.
That's important.
That's what I've always said. It's like my catchphrase.
Because this movie would have never ended if we didn't know how many there were. We'd just be standing on rocks forever.
Right,
be like,
exactly.
I don't know, is that the last one?
I do love at the end of this movie how confident they are that, like, she was just right. Like, they don't even think twice about it.
It's like, it wasn't one asleep when you were looking at readings. Maybe there's other, we don't know.
But anyway, so they dig it up. They've got a good look at it. Then they realize there's more of them. So they kind of head off to go for her truck because they don't have their vehicle and their horses are dead. But as they're headed that way, they get back to her little camp with the seismograph, and that thing is going nuts.
Yeah. It's not, I don't know, maybe something's happening in Tokyo. You never know, Kevin.
That's what childhood Kevin thought. So they decide, oh my gosh, look at these seismic readings. That's a bad deal. We better get on these rocks. And just as they do, that's when the graboid snake things come out of the ground. I just realized I didn't tell you I went and saw Uncle Doug, did I?
I assume you did. You showed up here with a fucking movie.
Yeah, sorry. I probably should have mentioned that earlier. You were really upset, and I knew you knew that I got a movie. I dididn't
There's
say
no
how
past
it
tense about the upset. Still is and am upset.
Okay, you are rightfully so. It was a mean prank. That's fine. I went, and Uncle Doug wasn't particularly nice to me, frankly. I went there to try to make it up, and I was like, "Hey, Uncle Doug, I was thinking maybe we could." And he just threw this thing out the window. You can see the mark right over my eye right here.
Yeah, I was wondering what that was.
You know what the corner? That's a corner of a DVD case. All right, and it was Tremors. It was Tremors.
Oh, there was no drawing from this was a forced.
Yeah, no, this was just I think he just hucked it at me. It was the first thing. It was on the top of the bin. He chucked it at me. So
I just can't stand his attitude lately.
Look, man, I'm not getting in the middle of it. I'm just saying maybe Trish has a little more influence on him than is prudent. But anyway, it doesn't matter. That's how we got the DVD for this. I'm sorry. I should have probably told you that. But anyway, let's just let that go. Let's let that go. Let's move on with the plot.
Sorry about your eye. I hope you're okay.
Yeah, no, it's kind of swollen up a little bit, too.
Yeah, it doesn't, I mean, heaven forbid you didn't have 8 snakes where you like to hang out.
Okay, yeah, you're right, Travis. You got it so much worse than I do. But,
would have rather gotten hit in the head with a DVD. It wouldn't have been so bad.
Okay, great. Anyway, they end up stuck on these rocks because what happens is this creature is very patient. Once it's got its prey cornered, it doesn't go anywhere. So they stay there for a few hours and they go down to check and they kind of bang on the ground and this thing pops up. So they feel like they're kind of between a rock and a graboid, you know? And so
Yeah.
Okay, I got you back. Good. So they're stuck up there basically all night. Again, as it starts to get dark, they just decide like, well, we all got to take care of some business. They do another pee scene. They got 2 pee scenes in this movie.
And the lady pees with them. Everybody's peeing and having a good time. You love to see it. I've made some of my biggest and longest lasting friendships through a shared urination. And I think that this movie really just symbolizes what it means to be tight with your bro and a new lady that you found in the desert.
Amen, dude. Amen. I appreciate you
I mean?
saying that. Yeah, I do. So they end up spending the night on this rock, and when they wake up the next morning, you know, Val and Rhonda have gotten a little snuggly during the night. In fact, she's using his jacket for a blanket. No romance might be happening, but the fellas get up. They have them a cigarette. Oh, by the way, one of the details that I love is that they gave one of the graboids a personality. They call him Stumpy, and it was the one that had his like snake tentacle ripped off by the truck. And he's kind of like the arch nemesis. You know, he's the smartest one out of all the graboids. So when they wake up, Val and Earl are kind of trying to come up with a plan, and Rhonda's got one. She came up with a plan, and she's trying to tell them, and they're just straight up bro talking. They just bro talking right over, not even listening.
But guess what, Rhonda?
Yeah.
What luck she has, dude. She found, get this.
Uh-huh.
They're out on a rock in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
Middle of the desert.
Uh-huh.
No one around.
Nobody.
She found 3 perfect pole vault poles. Just straight from a pole vault gym. Just leaning up against the rock. Beautiful, bendy.
Right.
Olympic regulated.
Uh-huh.
Just her luck.
Handcrafted.
I can't reconcile it. Why were there 3 perfect poles in the middle of the desert?
I mean, you know, it's science. It's her science camp. She's doing some science stuff with them poles.
She's not.
Okay, you're right. I think they just need an excuse for this scene. And they do exactly that. They pole vault from rock to rock to rock to get to the truck. But I love this scene. You pause it and look at how much the stunt doubles look nothing like Earl and Val. And it's the worst Kevin Bacon wig you've ever seen in your life. And the dude
do you really even need a stunt person for this? You could,
yeah.
I mean, they're just using silhouettes. They could have been going to different bouncy houses. You could have.
No, man, you gotta have stunt people. I mean, you could, like I said, you could break an arm doing this nonsense. You know, and you talking about Kevin Bacon? This man's footloose.
You're putting a pole in the ground. I mean, we thrown a couple things on the ground, and Stumpy and the other grabbers, the Tremor guys, jumped up there and grabbed it. Wouldn't they react to the pole? The pole vault, snap the pole? Aren't they smart?
No, they were in such disbelief that there were perfect pole vaulting poles as well. they were not expecting that, you know?
I guess not.
Shocking. So, well, they they managed to make it all the way to the truck. I love there's a little she's just Rhonda is the MVP of this movie, frankly. She's on the rock, like right before they pole vault on the truck, and she's like, wait, hold on. And she puts the keys in her mouth because she doesn't want to have to take the time to get them out of her pocket because she knows that could be even more treacherous. So, boom, in the back of the truck, she somehow cranks the truck, gets it into gear, and then she can't see, so she's just she's like, you know the smoker window in the back, or the little sliding window in the back of the truck. Her body's like half in that, half out. She's over the seat, and she's just driving this Mazda pickup with her hands and can't see the road or desert in front of her. It's
not a
wild.
good way to drive a truck. It's not a good way to drive a truck.
No, and the fellas are just sitting there cheering themselves on while she's like, "Hey, could you guys actually help?" And she's like, "Oh, yeah. Sorry, my bad."
Also, one of my favorite scenes here is when they're getting into the back of the truck, and Val, Kevin Bacon's character, gets in there, and the first grabber that you see come over the edge, he just open hand smacks it.
Yeah, dude. So they had a head back. We cut to the store, and they're trying the radio to get Bert and Heather because they're within the valley, right? And they keep harassing Rhonda for answers about these things because she's the scientist. She should probably know that. Like, you should know these things, Travis. And back to the roadblock. There's a little quick scene where they're like, "Well, surely somebody's going to come and help us," and then we just see them like eating at the roadblock. So nobody's coming to help, at least for a while. Then they cut back to the store.
And they haven't invented helicopters yet. So.
No, you can't get them into the valley. You know, there's
of course
geographical features that prevent that. And all the poles. You know, you ever been around a helicopter when it gets hit with a pole? No, sir.
No good, brother. Oh, man.
So they're saying, well, maybe we can wait them out. And Val gets hysterical and says, "No, they're coming for the town." And he like rips the map off the wall, and he shows how they are in fact coming to town for the smorgasbord of delicious people. Now, Travis, I want to ask you a question. All right, you know that there are horrible monsters under the ground that are eating people. Now you have a daughter. Would you just tell her, "Go on outside and play on your pogo stick, honey"?
Dude, this blew me away. This blew me
wild?
away.
Isn't it wild?
We know. We've established that the ground is dangerous to be on. And it's like we got Melvin outside bouncing a goddamn basketball. We've got the little girl out there on doing what is she doing?
Pogo
stick?
sticking.
A pogo stick. The worst thing you could be doing.
It seems like a bad idea.
It gave me a lot of anxiety.
I'm not saying the mother who took her emotionally stunted children out into the desert to be alone is maybe not mother of the year, but I think that could be the case. Also, Melvin do some Melvin stuff up in this scene. Like, he starts screaming like he's being attacked. And then a very short time later, the Graboids do hit town and he is being attacked. And that's when they realize, oh no, Mindy's out. They were like, "Hey, everybody be quiet." And then they just hear Mindy out there. She's got a Walkman on, just hopping on that pogo stick. And you're like, why did you know they're murder worms. You know they're murder worms. Why are you letting your children play outside, lady?
I could not believe it. I mean, maybe there's a couple. I love the movie. But there's some unforgivable logic in this region of the film where I was screaming. I was like, "What are you doing?"
Maybe it's just that thing where you're like, you know you're in danger, but like, that could never happen to me. I don't know. But anyway, she's in danger. Val sees it, and he sprints across the little road there and grabs her off the pogo stick. I love this scene because it's so weirdly shot. Like, he grabs her off of it. The pogo stick just remains standing there, I guess where the Graboid has grabberated it. And then it like poof, disappears under the ground and gets like spat out, and they all like just run different directions. So Mindy and her mom run into the house. Somehow Earl and Rhonda, they're over by the porch, but they get like separated. And Rhonda, I love this. She gets like wrapped up in some barbed wire and then just proceeds to roll herself up in the barbed wire like she's a sushi roll in some like fetish place. I don't know. It's wild. And she's all like tied up in the barbed wire, and like Val is like I think he runs over and he like gets on top of the truck, and one of the creatures is like shaking the truck. There's all kinds of just pandemonium. going on. Somehow, who's it? Melvin gets down off the lamp pole that he's on and runs into a shed that's adjacent and doesn't help Rhonda as she's wrapping herself up in barbed wire, which frankly I'd be like, dude, whatever you into, that's fine. I'm not judging.
Yeah.
I
you
love
seem like you had a plan.
The graboid is like pulling her in by the barbed wire, and he's not like, ooh, ow, I hope this tastes good, because this, maybe, I was thinking about this, you know how we like spicy food? Maybe this was like spicy.
Barbed wire's like they're spicy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could make, that's it. You know what? Dylan's not here. That's good spackle.
Thank you. I've been listening to a lot of We Got Goosebumps. Is that the name of that podcast? Yeah. So I've been really picking up on that Dylan spackle.
Good. I'm glad.
Anyway, Val comes running over with a pickaxe, stabs this thing in the head, rips Rhonda's pants off so that she can escape. By the way, this is why your mama always told you to wear clean underwear, because you never know when you're going to be attacked by a giant murder worm.
Yep, and she's just rolling around in the dirt, getting a sand full of pantaloons there. But
oh my God, can you imagine the amount of sand in her unders?
You know what?
It'd be uncomfortable.
It wouldn't be great for the gal.
I wouldn't love it. Frankly, I wouldn't like it either. So they end up, they flee back into the store. For now, the graboids have not figured out how to get in the store. And this is
her legs are hairier than mine. I mean, I tell you, you'd think the barbed wire would have shaved something off. Now I ain't got, fly your flag, but goodness gracious, you know what they say, before you go out in the desert and fight Tremors, always shave your legs.
No,
that's what I do.
Dude, look, she is
makes you slick, easier to escape.
Look, dude, she is a grad student who's been camping in the desert for weeks on end. Like, she's not gonna. What do you think? Can you imagine what she smells like? And she has not shaved nothing. Like, you need to let that go, buddy. Okay, that's a realistic, natural person right there. All right.
No, I mean, again, I appreciate it. I'm just saying, I like to be aerodynamic when I fight worms.
That is a good point. I didn't think about that. That leg hair would slow. I mean, you are not going Michael Phelps away from that thing. With
that's
all
what
that
I'm trying
leg
to
hair.
say.
Yeah, you're
Thank
absolutely right.
Thank
you. We cut inside, and Kevin Bacon's character Val is cleaning up the wounds on her legs, and they kind of share a little tender moment. And then Earl's just sitting there being a creep, watching it, smoking a cigarette. It's the weirdest thing. I love it. He's just got this, like, I don't know, man, this grin, like he knows something and he's into it. You know what I mean?
There's creepy moments in this with what is it, Earl?
Earl
just looking on and making weird eye contact with people, because he does it earlier on the rock when Val and What's-Her-Face are asleep and wake up, and he just gives them a look like he's a proud dad, but also like, are you a pervert too?
Yeah, like he's giving off like a big brother energy, but like a big brother that like maybe peeped in the door when you was necking with your girlfriend. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah, kind of weird, right?
Yeah, a little weird, but hey, man, he's lovable nonetheless. Well, they've decided if they kind of stay quiet, maybe they won't pop into the store. Well, now earlier in the movie, Walter has not replaced his cooler in this place since like 1954, and
easily.
So this thing's on its last legs. And it
literally looks like a piece of furniture in the Fallout video game series. It literally looks like it's from
yeah. And it starts to, I guess it's a fan belt motor. I don't know what's wrong with this thing, but it starts like squealing like you wouldn't believe. And they end up making more noise trying to just unplug it than if they had just let it keep going. They're throwing soda cans over, like slamming, screaming.
Come on.
And that's when
they can't talk to one another without screaming. There's not a whisper in this entire movie. It's like, do you guys not understand what you're like, we've got to be quiet. Doesn't make any sense.
It does not. Well, man, this is where it happens. That Tremor, that graboid, that grabber-rating Walter, man, boom, right up through the floor and pull him down to his death. He's probably the most horrific death in this. He really is like screaming and like blood's coming out of his face and stuff. Like he looks uncomfortable.
You can watch a man die in this movie, and I think that was a real death, and that's why it's...
I haven't seen him in anything since this,
Absolutely not. It could also be because he was like 127.
I think he was only 33, dude. It's just, desert life ages you. But
I guess it does.
Anyway, the store is getting torn apart. Miguel and Earl and Val end up on the roof, and it's that like it's that scene where like they've got the tall shelves and the graboid knocks one of them over and it like dominoes towards.
I like that.
Rhonda,
They
I
do
love
some
it.
teamwork.
I love
Yeah.
it. And Rhonda is like on the very last shelf. It gets like tossed out the window. And so Val, instead of going to help her, climbs up on the roof. And then he's like, oh, wait, Rhonda, are you okay? I'm so worried about you. Oh, no. And turns out she just climbed the water tower that was across the street. So that was
Smart
good.
move.
That was good.
Yeah. It's a good thing she does climb the water tower. If we don't have that water tower later, we're in trouble.
Right. Well, everybody is sort of safe, relative. And Melvin is in the shed, but he refuses. I love this. He refuses to get on the roof. They're like, you got to get on the roof. And he's like shouting back. I was like, no way, man. I'm not going to get on the roof. And then the graboid just shakes the building and he climbs on top of it. Would have been better if he got eaten. But hey, we lost
Yeah,
Walter.
I agree. Stupid
RIP.
Melvin.
So we cut to the Gummer residence, and they've been out looking for the creature. You know, presumably they just haven't been at their place, so they don't know the conundrum of these are giant worms underground. And so they're like CBing in, trying to talk to the folks because from their vantage point on the hillside, they can see that everybody's on the roof. Well, Bert and Reba or Heather go into the rec room, which is like in their basement. Their rec room full of guns, tons of guns.
Oh, yeah.
And she sees that Bert is trying to talk to them on the CB, which they have to like hang over the edge of the store to get. And Bert's trying to talk to him. And she comes in and puts these brass shell casings in this like cleaner thing. And it just starts making an awful racket. And you're like, why you got to do that while I'm on the phone?
Rude, first of all. Also, it's going to lead to our untimely demise, perhaps. But, yeah. Very, very rude. That's what I said out loud. I said, so rude.
Yeah.
Reba McEntire.
That could have waited. That could have just
maybe
waited.
Can't you see I'm on the phone?
Yeah. Well, anyway, it does, in fact, attract the graboids. And one just heads all the way across the desert and smashes through the wall of their rec room. And then, man, it is Armageddon. They're grabbing every gun off the wall and shooting this thing. Heather shoots a freaking flare gun. They've got a flare gun on the wall for some reason.
That killed me. Also, this whole scene builds up kind of interestingly. Like Kevin Bacon's character is over on that roof. Like, I don't know. I guess they have a sight line, but he's like yelling at him. He's like, "You've got to get out of there. They're coming from underground." And no one. They're like, "What? No, we're fine because we're in the." Honestly, we're in the rec room. It's maybe the safest place in perfection. And he's like, "You've got to, they're underground monsters." And he's like, is this for real? But they don't move. They just stay there. They bust through the wall. And what's cool is they do this like slow, like backpedaling, like they're in disbelief, turn around, and then the camera pans over. And it is a wall with so many guns. It's like unbelievable. Like, I don't even think I've played a video game that's had that many different guns in it. But yeah, that was also a fun part because he has a special gun over in the corner, which I don't even know what that thing does, but it was like a very long barreled mini bazooka kind of deal. But even before then, a flare gun. You're going to hang up all your fancy guns. You got all your rifles, all your shotguns, all your stuff, and then a flare gun, right? I didn't get that, but I liked it.
Yeah, I love it. I love it, man. You know, and neither one of us can really relate what it's like to be like, you know, thinking you're safe in your space, you know, and just be invaded, you know. It's just nobody knows.
Yeah,
what's
well,
like.
maybe we can. Maybe some of us know what that's like.
Okay, all right.
You know, maybe some of us know what that's like to have your safe space be infiltrated unfairly by someone who you trusted. Okay. These people didn't trust a Tremor. At least I trusted Uncle Doug.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I did walk into that one. That was my fault. Okay. Well,
now I'm getting me a wall of guns.
Okay, let's just start with a flare gun and see where we go, okay?
It's mostly flare guns so far. I don't have a license to own.
Yeah, you don't want to. That'd be neat though. Like in 4th of July, everybody's going to be really excited. But anyway, the point is this thing comes through the wall and they shoot the crap out of it. And finally, Bert gets his BFG out. You know, he's got to have the big gun, you know. Big
what
old
is that gun, Kev? You're a smart, manly man. You know trucks and stuff. What gun is that?
That's the BFG.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's an elephant gun of some kind. I don't know. I don't know what kind of gun.
I don't know that it shot elephants out of it.
That
would be way too big.
That got me, dude. That got me. Good job, Travis.
Wasn't that big.
Oh man. Well, anyway, the BFG does the deal and finally kills this thing. And of course, everybody in town hears the gunfire stop, and they assume that the worst. But then Bert gets on the CB, and they're like, "We killed it!" And everybody is like cheering. And my favorite dude, they cut from like everybody's on top. Like you got people in the houses and on the rooftops, whatever. One guy I haven't talked about was Nestor, and he's just kind of like an ancillary character in this. But man, he cheers so hard in this thing with his hat. Like it's like the happiest day of his life to have that murder worm killed.
Yeah, and it's a short-lived celebration, if I recall correctly, because I don't think Nestor's long for this world.
Yeah, he is. He is in fact not. So, well, they're up on the roof and they're back on the CB. And Val says, "Hey, can you take your Jimmy up the Jeep trail?" And he's like, "I always like to take my Jimmy up the Jeep trail." And they're like, "No, stop. We mean, can you take your vehicle up the Jeep trail?" And he says, "Sure." Well, it must have been warm or something. Whatever reason, the Graboids just decided to destroy his truck. There was nobody in it, but they destroyed it, so he can't take his truck. So it appears that they are also stuck on the roof. So they're trying to come up with a plan, but before they can start planning, the other Graboid that's still in town starts messing with all the buildings, knocking buildings this way, that way. Nobody falls off until they get to poor Nestor's trailer.
Yeah, poor Nestor. He gets got. Then they shake him off or something, and he hits the ground, and he gets gobbled.
He tries to get away, and he crawls on top of a tractor tire. And they're like,
"Yeah,
no!
They're like, no, you got to get higher, you idiot."
And he just panics.
It was a cool death, though.
It was, yeah. He gets pulled down through a tractor tire. Had to be painful. Had to be a rough way to check out. R.I.P. Nestor. We're going to miss you, buddy. Well, they finally, that was the only one that they could really get to. So they finally come up with a plan. After a little bit of, they've got the bulldozer that you mentioned earlier, Travis, the cat, as they call it, presumably because it's a caterpillar. And they come up with the idea of hooking this old semi-trailer that's sort of like cut in half to the back of it, and then just pulling themselves out of town. They're like, there's no way one of these worms, that thing weighs 30 tons. No way one of these worms could knock it over. And it's like, well, we got to give it a try. This is the only shot that we've got. So they come up with the idea. I love this. They're always come up with plans. Like that's a kind of a theme through the movie. There's the paper, rock, scissors. Oh, there's one callback joke that we haven't mentioned, which is Earl spends a lot of time saying cuss words, and then when Rhonda's around, he's like, "Sorry about my French."
Pardon my French. Is that where did that come from, this freaking movie? Because it's used so much. Like, I'm like, did they invent the joke or are they murdering it? Because I was so sick of it after. I was like kind of cringing whenever they would do it.
No, they didn't cover this. But so they come up with this idea that Walter, the shopkeep, just happened to have his old mower right next to the store. So they crank the mower up, and it heads off through the desert, and that's the distraction as Val, which he paper, rock, scissors with Earl and loses, but then he just punches Earl and decides to go for the run anyway, that he's going to run to the caterpillar. Of course, it gets knocked over. The mower does.
Yeah, not very long after they set it loose either, which obviously disheartening because now we got Val halfway to pay dirt. They're coming for him.
So they shout.
It was a great idea, though. It was a great idea.
Oh, terrific
I love
idea.
that idea.
Some seriously good plans in this thing. Well, they shout to be still because then they won't be able to hear him. So he freezes in place, and one of the Graboids kind of pops out of the ground and is like snaking around his leg, and like Kevin Bacon's getting footloose. You know what I'm saying? He's moving that foot up and down, standing on one foot. So it can't get to him. And Rhonda again, MVP. Figures out how to distract it. She turns on the water, or actually she doesn't. She climbs down on the water tower and kicks loose a pipe so that water's dumping all over the ground, making lots of sound. So the Graboid runs away, leaves. That's the one I wanted. Val there to do his work with the tractor. Boom. Gets it hooked up to the semi, and then he picks up everybody in town just in the nick of time. All right? I mean...
Yeah.
Just barely, right? And they head out of town. Now, they're going to head up to the Gummers to pick them up.
Now, the Gummers have been busy, dude. They don't just sit on their haunches just watching Tremors from a distance. They've been packing heat and building a fuck ton of pipe bombs.
It was a lot.
So many.
You know he's been just waiting for a reason. Like, he's just been waiting. Like, he's
Who's
like, we
got that
all
much
this-
perfectly cut PVC pipe with the caps ready and all of the, like dude. I mean, he makes a joke about it later about how, like, he took all this time to build, like, his bunker and all that stuff just for underground monsters to come take it from him. But, like, he was ready for the apocalypse.
He was, man. He was prepared for sure. Well, they are picking them up, and they've made a whole bunch of pipe bombs. So they pick the Gummers up at their place, and they're headed out to the mountains. They figure out if they can get to the mountains. You see, this was Rhonda again, MVP's brilliant observation. These creatures can sort of tunnel through sand, but they can't tunnel through solid rock. One of them killed himself on just concrete. You know.
Yeah. We already established they can't really do much to a big tractor, so they do have limits.
Yeah. So they're heading out that way. They've got everybody in the back of the semi-trailer, and they see off in the distance the graboids are doing something, right? And they're like, well, we don't really care what they're doing as long as it's way over there. Travis, that to me seems like very foolhardy comment.
Yeah, we're obviously dealing with smart creatures. They tried to sink your house earlier. They were pretty smart about that. I would say if they're out there, they're forming a plan of some sort. It's like Jaws, they're just circling them.
You know what it is? This is what it reminded me of. You ever seen that footage of that certain pod of killer whales that figured out if you swim by the ice shelf and splash a bunch of water on it that you knock the seals off? Away? And they're super successful. That's what these graboids are, man. They're learning.
That's how I knock seals off so I can club their babies. So I totally get it. And this is...
You are a busy guy.
Yeah. So honestly, the travel isn't really worth the feeling like I'm God with those seals. But we learned that they were up to something. They built a trench.
You just you don't get the joy out of it the way you used to. They always say, "Don't make your hobby a career." They always say that, Travis. I warned you.
It's just, yeah, it's not. It's really not that great. It wears itself thin, but
so
there's a trench. Much like the concrete culvert earlier, a little bit of getting back at the old people there. I kind of like that. That was pretty smart.
Yeah, they dug out a little. Somehow they dug it out, but yet they kept it covered so nobody knew. So the bulldozer falls into this hole. Everybody falls everywhere, and then you expect the graboids just to immediately pounce on them, but they don't. They give the humans time to come up with a plan.
Well, I don't think they can penetrate the wagon.
I mean. Yeah, I guess so.
I guess they could reach over the top, but
yeah, they got tongue worms. Yeah,
that's true.
They can make that work.
Had a dog that had tongue worms once. Had to put him down.
Will you stop murdering animals for like 2 seconds to get through this podcast? Jeez. So they're firing over the edge of this semi, and then to kind of try to scare the creature away or hit it or just defend themselves. And Bert grabs one of his pipe bombs and lights this sun gun, right, and chucks it over the edge. He holds it for way longer than I would, by the way, but he's an expert, and it says,
and then just does a layup over the side, like doesn't even say get down. He just does it.
Well, it turns out that the loud noise of the explosion hurts the creature because they're very sensitive to sound, right? So these things, there's 2 of them left, take off, heading in different directions. And they say, well, that's it. We can use that to get to those rocks over there to safety. Otherwise, they're going to pull this trailer down. So old Melvin, he refuses to go. And Bert just goes, well, here, how does this work for you? And he hands him a gun. Why you would give a child like Melvin a gun, I don't know, but he does. Well, kinda. So they chuck a bomb in the direction that they want to run that scares the creatures away from that direction, and they run to these rocks. Melvin wants to fire off a couple of rounds, and he realizes Bert gave him an unloaded gun.
Got him. Got his ass. Love that.
I just like to see Melvin disappointed. That's what makes me happy.
Oh, that is wonderful. Also, I don't really know their plan here. They want to get to the rocks, but then, no one's like, but then what?
Well, yeah, but that's not... But you're in the middle of peril. But then what? It's not the time for that.
Look,
Look, it might be Monday. Guess what? I'm thinking about Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Well, pardon me for my French. In fact, that's where this scene happens. In fact, Rhonda says, "I think we can throw it," and then we run like pardon my French.
And
there's gonna be so much cuckooing in this one. But hey, look, I want to point out in this movie, I thought it was the TNT edit, like somehow that we got this, but they actually call the worms mother humpers in this instead of MFers.
It does look dubbed though, because I got to the same part, and it looks like he mouthed the F word and he still said humpers, but the rest of the movie is all shits and dams and.
I mean, maybe that's how they got it to, like, I don't know, whatever the rating was.
But there's already like another F word in the movie.
Yeah, so, maybe. I think you only get a certain amount for a PG-13. I think you get like one in there, you know, and they're like, maybe. You can't do two. That's too many. Like,
they had to retcon one for a mother humper. I would have probably done the other one.
Yeah.
I'd have left, whatever.
Whatever, it's fine. I just love that there's an actual, and if you go to IMDb, that's one of the quotes from the movie is mother humpers.
Jesus.
I love it. But anyway, they do make it to the rocks despite Travis's misgivings. And then, of course, Bert is on Team Travis and was very upset that they didn't have a plan beyond get to the rocks and save their lives again, Bert.
This was one of those movies where I looked so right in front of my wife about everything. I was like, well, they're going to get there, but then what are they going to do? And she's like, I don't know. They'll figure it out. And I'm like, it looks like they didn't. It looks like they didn't because nobody had a plan.
Well, after they're there for a while, they do come up with a plan, Travis. And Bert is sitting there holding one of his pipe bombs. And he says, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. He gets dark quick. Like, it's been like 20 minutes. And he's like, I'll tell you this. If it comes down to starvation, I'm going to light this thing and I'm going to walk out there and let that thing eat me and blow it up. You're like, Bert, can we just like try anything else before suicide bomber? Like, you want to try like anything before that? You just got to go right there, dude.
He sounded like Robert Shaw's character in Jaws. He's like, black eyes like a doll's eyes.
But that does, in fact, give Earl an idea. Fishing. So he ties this pipe bomb on the end of a rope, chucks it out into the desert, and is like making a little bit of noise with it. And sure enough, one of these graboids swallows it up, and boom, goo goes everywhere, Travis.
And the good news is, he brought 19 miles of rope with him, because we're going to be using a lot more of it later. I was like, where's the rope keep coming from?
They just had more of it, man.
He had so much rope. He had so much rope and pipe bombs, dude.
I hate keep calling out the sequel to Tremors 2, but the re-Tremorning. Tremorning? Probably. Tremors 2. Yeah. But they actually use remote. You haven't seen it? They use remote control cars to do this exact thing. It's just brilliant. Like they drive little remote control cars with bombs on them out in the desert. I love it.
That's so smart.
That's so good. But anyway,
so much rope. Look at all the rope. I mean, it's insane amount of rope.
It's 15 days. But I mean, the guy had 47 pipe bombs. 78 pipe bombs? Are you really surprised he had that much like paracord with him?
I wonder what Luke from the Outdoor Boys would have done in this situation.
Probably just smothered himself in honey butter is probably what he would have done. But anyway, if you haven't seen Luke from the Outdoor Boys, you should check out his YouTube channel. It's great.
Oh, he's fun.
He does a lot of fun stuff. But we find that they've come up with a plan to fish and get this very last. Remember, there were only 3 of them left. This is the last one, and guess which one it is, Travis?
Oh, it's old Stumpy. It's the wise one. Oh, he's so smart too, dude. He's a wise little critter. He is. You know what? I like a monster like this that's supposed to be like a bug, and you would think, something like more reptilian might be more just driven by blood and not wily. But I kind of liked that this thing had some smarts to it. It made this movie really fun.
It did, man, for sure.
It would have been a different flavor if it was just a dumb, mean thing that just didn't stop at anything. It was much better that it had a personality.
You did feel like it was a little bit more of a predator, and they had to have done that intentionally. You got to have the one with the personality, Let's call that one Stumpy. I like that, Well, they try the same trick on Stumpy, and he does, in fact, swallow the pipe bomb. He says, nah, something's not right about this. Yep, Stumpy thinks something's not right with this, so he spits this thing way up in the air. He's got like Michael Jordan aim. This thing lands exactly on the bag of other pipe bombs. And there's only one more pipe bomb Kevin Bacon grabbed it as a backup just in case this one didn't work. All of these pipe bombs explode. Now, there's some geography that I don't understand here, but somehow everybody else ends up still on the rock. But Earl, Val, and Rhonda are out in the middle of the desert, like 40 feet from the rock. I don't know how that happened.
I don't know if they took off sprinting and the other ones just hid behind the rock or what. But yeah, that was because they all get up from like a football field away, and I'm like, "What are you doing? Get back on the rock!"
So they're pinned out there. They're not moving because Stumpy would detect them, and he sort of pops up and knows they're there. So they're trying to figure out what to do. And Val has this bomb in his hand, and you can see him debating something. And they're and both Earl and Rhonda are like kind of quietly, they're whisper yelling like they do in this movie, for him to throw the bomb to scare it away so that they can get back on the rock. And he's like, yeah, but he uses his Travis brain.
Then what?
He starts thinking about Wednesday. He says, but then what? We just gonna sit up there for 3 days and die. And then Earl goes, yeah, but I want to live them 3 days, dude. I love that.
Earl's, in some sense there, he's like, well, you got to do something now or we're going to die now.
He's a practical man, all right? But you could see, again, Val is debating this, and he says, man, forget it. I'm going to go for it. So he takes off sprinting. The creature jumps up, and so Earl has to go running with him. So they're sprinting together, and he's looking for the lighter, and that's when Rhonda realizes she has the lighter. So all three of them now are sprinting together across the desert towards a cliff, Travis, heading towards that cliff, getting closer, closer, and then poof, they stop at the edge of the cliff. Stumpy is chasing them, and they're like, what are you doing, Val? Throw the bomb. And he breaks off part of the fuse, so there's just the tiniest little bit there, and they're like, throw it. He's like, no, wait. Just wait a little longer. And you're like, dude, I don't know what's going to happen. He lights it. He throws it. He misses Stumpy. They're like, oh, you missed Stumpy. He's like, nah.
You overthrew it, you stupid idiot.
But he didn't. Boom, it blows up behind Stumpy. Stumpy sprints forward to try to escape the sound and boosh, heads right off the cliff and falls like 7,000 feet in the arc of Kevin Bacon's urine and splashes on the
right in the
bottom.
pee.
And he... right where Kevin Bacon peed right at the beginning of the movie, probably.
Poetic.
Man.
I wish there was still a wet spot on the rocks, actually. That would have been great.
Right before. There is after the worm hits it. It turns into just... It looks like this thing was filled with beef ravioli. I'm not exactly sure what was in there, but it was pretty
I think it
gross.
was pumpkins. I don't know. I wonder what they used, but it did look... It's a very orange innards.
But it worked, and they were standing there on the edge of the cliff. And Val's like, well, I came up with the idea. I just started thinking, stampede. And got him.
Just got him, dude. Bringing it back around. You love to see it.
They're doing some laughing, some backslapping. And again, no one questions that there were only a certain amount of these.
Yeah.
Like there could be another one.
Hope that's the last one. Guess we'll all go home now. Where it's safe.
They do. They get back to town. The police are there. It kind of cuts away, and Val and Earl are talking about, they're finally going to make that money. Well, Rhonda comes over, and, you can tell maybe she don't want to say goodbye, Travis. And she kind of like takes a picture of them, and they pose looking all handsome. And she kind of walks off, and Earl's like, you just going to let her walk right out of your life? He didn't say this. I don't remember what he says, but something like that. And he says, I'm working on it. I'm working up to it. And he's like, what you waiting for? And Val goes over there, you know what? And gives her a big old smoocher-do.
Mm-hmm.
And the credits roll.
That's right. Kevin Bacon, or this character Val, is maybe one of the more awkward men I've seen portrayed on film.
He oscillates between screaming at worms and like not knowing how to flirt with a girl he's not attracted to. Like I don't understand what's happening here, man.
So true, man. But yeah, great movie. Are there more out there? For sure. I don't know why we would ever sleep on that there were just 4 of these things that were obviously very evolved to murder. But, that's what sequels are for. And I've not seen those, so I got a lot to look forward to.
I 100% endorse the second one. It's fantastic. I've seen a spattering of them. I've seen the one on the island and the Frozen one. Where they're in the tundra with like ice.
That's
Tremors.
just the thing.
No, I mean kinda, yeah, but it's under the ground. It's totally different. It's basically the same. Anyway, I think these movies are terrific. I think they're great creature movies. I think a movie theater out there needs to pick up and do like a whole Tremors weekend where they just like big screen, because all the sequels were like direct to video, you know. So I think they should do like 100% like big screen weekend for Tremors. What do you think, Travis?
Yeah, so I mean, man, imagine watching it on a big screen like a drive-in in the desert. That'd be cool.
That'd be awesome. And then I'd be
That'd
like,
be pretty sweet.
Like, you'd be a little scared though, like, wouldn't you? You know, like, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I would want to try it to see if the hibby-jibbies came out of me. Great movie though. When I think about this movie, you know, looking back, it like I don't want to like compare it directly to Maximum Overdrive, but it is kind of like the same amount of schlock. And this movie's just a head above that. It's just so much more entertaining through and through. It's better written. It's cornier. Like the dialogue is somehow maybe worse, but it still works in its favor. And it all takes place during daylight. I mean, there's like a couple night scenes, but the fact that we're dealing with scary monsters in the middle of the day adds kind of an element that you don't normally see with the creature feature. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love that, man. I love like a lot of the practical effects. The creatures look pretty cool. You know, I mean, there's a couple of little like, especially the one where the rec room, like you mentioned, it looks
That's obviously got an elbow. Yeah.
But it's still fantastic, man. Well, who cares what we think, Travis? What about some of those post-credit reviews?
Yeah, dude. Well, people who loved it. I got 3 here for us to close out here, and these are ones that maybe contain a spoiler. That's why we save them for after the film here. PD187 back in 2016 gave it 5 stars and said, "Why would you even play scissors against Fred Ward?" And that was Kevin Bacon's, you know, every time scissors. Like, come on, man, you got to mix it up.
You know, it's funny when we were watching this movie. You leaned over to me and said, "You know what? I'd scissor with Fred Ward." That's what you said.
Of course I did. Yeah, and I mean it. I absolutely mean it. I still would. Then
I'm
we got
still confused by it, but I'm happy you're happy.
I just mean we do crafts together with our scissors.
Oh, that's neat.
KYK back in May 2020, early pandemic, 2.5 stars, says, "Could have been a heartwarming story if we got more of the worm perspective and how they were grieving their dead mother worm." And I do think that would make a great sequel.
Yeah, they were only lashing out because the great mother worm had been killed by mining.
Yeah,
it becomes
maybe.
like a environmental, eco like friendly picture. You know what I mean, about protecting the environment.
That could be a great prequel. Like you just see the miners messing up, and then you kind of see like the creature be affected by it, but the miners don't know. And then I think that'd be cool.
And like the mother worm has like a deep, poignant monologue where she's trying to preach peace to her like her progenies, her children, and
Do you think all 3 of her mouths talk at once?
I think
like all
they
3
take
of the
turns.
little men?
No, I think they take turns.
You think they take?
Yeah.
Do you think they do like? Do you think they harmonize at all?
Yeah, I think they do. But I think all 3 of them have different personalities.
It's like what is it? Siskel and Ollie. What was the name of that? You remember the sock puppet thing on MTV?
Oh yeah, I don't know what it's called, but yeah, they had different personalities.
Yeah, or like the Quiznos mascot. Anyway, we got a 1.5 star here from Eva back in February of 2024. Eva indicating like she might not like it, giving it a 1.5 star, Kev, but I'll let you judge from this review.
Okay.
So what? A giant worm wants to eat some people. Is that so wrong? This is literally the problem with social justice culture today. Like, God forbid a giant worm does anything. She's just mad worm can't worm, and I get that.
Yeah, no, that's totally understandable. She also sounds like probably a member of my like extended family. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I've had Thanksgiving dinner with her. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it always gets uncomfortable, but you know, whatever. She just needs to stop watching so much Fox News, but it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, I had a good time with this movie, man. I gotta say, this is like one of those movies I absolutely loved as a kid. Like, I'm nostalgic for this movie, you know, and anytime it's on, you know, TNT, I'm probably gonna sit through him saying Mother Humper 17 times.
It's actually very rewatchable. That's another thing about it. Maximum Overdrive, again, I keep drawing that parallel for some weird reason. Not rewatchable in my mind. I kind of was over it pretty early, but this, like, as soon as it was over, I kind of wanted to run it back through. It was pretty fun.
I feel like maybe a biannual. No, not biannual. Maybe every 2 years. What's that?
Every 2 years is what.
Is that biannual? Is that what that means?
But I don't know.
Okay, well, you're a scientist, so you're supposed to know these things.
What holiday you watch this on? What do you think? Is it a 4th of July movie? What is it? Because it's very American. Like we got big guns. We got. I mean, that's really it. Big guns. The West.
You know, I think this is a Labor Day movie for me.
Think it's Labor Day?
Yeah,
because we got a couple of guys here just trying to earn a living.
Yeah. And also, like, just think about kicking back, watching this on, like, a nice, relaxing day. You know, it's still maybe a little hot, but there's a little crispness in the air. So, you know, that seems right for me. I like a good Labor Day on this one.
Okay, yeah, I can get down with that for sure.
For sure. Well, how about on a budget of $6 million? Tremors went on to have a box office of over $16 million. That's not too bad, is it? Tremors.
That's a win. That's like 6 sequels worth of millions.
Yeah, pretty close. Tremors truly dug deep into the hearts of its fans, leaving a seismic impact that still shakes up the horror comedy genre. I'm trying to put more puns in this thing, you know?
Good job.
With Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward leading the charge, making audience root for them as they wormed their way out of danger.
Come on now.
Yeah, thank you. The film's unforgettable underground monsters didn't just grab attention, they grabberated, whatever, viewers into a cult classic that still holds up today, inspiring a loyal fan base that has kept the story alive for 6 sequels. The last came out in 2020, dude. 2020. Proving that the franchise is just as fun as it was more than 30 years ago.
Oh, my goodness.
30 years ago, dude.
30 years ago, dude. And a sequel 5 years ago. Can you believe that? 2020 was 5 years ago. Imagine that.
Wow. Yeah, it just feels like it's all sliding off the cliff in a big pile of worm ravioli.
Right into the piss.
Normally we would do like a little hint for what movie we're doing next here, so that you could watch it. But we're having again some technical difficulties in our relationship with our namesake.
Maybe you can get Uncle Voldemort to throw one at you.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm
out of the trailer.
I need the other eye to not be swelling, so I need to be able to see out of one of them. So maybe we'll
I mean, how are we even going to get a movie? Like, can we even have another episode? How are we going to?
I'm working on it, Travis. I don't know. Well, hopefully, I think so. I think I've got an idea. You know, but we're gonna work on it. But anyway, hey man, we're back. All right, let's not dwell on the negatives. We're back, season 4. Very exciting. Okay, so if you enjoyed this episode, you might like our other podcast. You can catch me on the Tabletop Gaming Podcast, Blue Peg, Pink Peg, and you can find Trav on a lot of great podcasts here on the Polymedia Network. Man, you got that Tales of a Lesser Medium. We got Goosebumps. Already talked about it.
We got them.
And just too many podcasts to mention. Seriously, Trav, you need to whittle down a little bit. You got too many.
I'm so sorry.
You can catch me on stage with Big Lick Conspiracy and maybe even Travis from time to time if you're in the Roanoke area. And if you want to keep this podcast from going under, support the Polymedia Network on Patreon. We also have got to thank our pal Harvest Black for that mother-humping theme music. And just like our Uncle Doug always says...
Oh, what does Uncle Doug always say? I'm a stupid, old, dumb, fat idiot with a hag, a horny hag girlfriend. That's me, Uncle Doug.
Travis.
That's what he says.
You have to say the movie quote. Like, it's our thing, dude. You have
Oh, okay, I got it. How about this? I'm Uncle Doug. I'm a big piece of poop.
Okay. Was that in the movie? I don't remember it, but maybe that was in the movie.
Okay, fine. I'll say something else. Okay, or I'll say and just like some guy who isn't named Uncle Doug always says...
Broke into the wrong rec room, didn't you bastard?
Beneath the sand they twist and glide, with gnashing jaws so gaping wide. The ground betrays each step and sound, no safe place on this cursed ground. Run for the rocks, don't make a peep, or sink below where horrors creep.